Have you ever wondered what you would do if someone handed you $1,000 today and said, "You have one chance to build a better future. Spend this money wisely"? Would you buy the latest phone? Would you invest in cryptocurrency? Would you start a small shop? Or would you do something that could keep making you money for years to come? If I were 25 years old today, with exactly $1,000 in my pocket, I wouldn't waste time chasing quick money. I wouldn't wait for the perfect opportunity either. Instead, I would build an agribusiness that could grow from a small beginning into a reliable source of income, not because farming is easy, but because people will always need food. Whether the economy is doing well or struggling, people still have to eat. That is one thing that has never changed. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I would do step by step if I had to start all over again with just $1,000. I'll explain how I would spend the money, the mistakes I would avoid, and how I would turn a small investment into a growing business. If you've been waiting for the right business idea, stay with me until the end because this plan is designed for ordinary people with limited capital. The first thing I would do is change the way I think about money. Many people receive a small amount of capital and immediately think about buying things that make them look successful instead of building something that actually makes them successful. A better phone, expensive clothes, or a fancy office may look impressive for a few weeks, but they won't put money into your pocket every month. My goal would be simple. Every dollar should become an investment that produces more dollars. The second thing I would do is avoid trying to start too many businesses at once. One of the biggest mistakes young entrepreneurs make is spreading themselves too thin. They start poultry today, vegetables tomorrow, fish next month, and before long everything begins to fail because nothing receives enough attention. I would choose one business, learn everything about it, and become very good at managing it before expanding. For me, that business would be goat farming. Why goats? Because they offer something that many other businesses don't. They reproduce quickly, require less capital than cattle, adapt well to different environments, and there is always demand for goat meat in many countries. Besides selling meat, goats also create other income opportunities through breeding stock, manure, milk in some breeds, and even breeding services. In other words, one goat can make you money in several different ways. Now let's talk about the money. If I only had $1,000, I wouldn't spend everything in one day. Every dollar would have a purpose. A portion of the money would go towards securing land if I didn't already have access to family land. Leasing a small piece of land is often much cheaper than buying one, and in the beginning, reducing costs is more important than owning everything. The next portion would be used to build a simple but strong goat house. I wouldn't build a beautiful structure just to impress visitors. Goats don't care how expensive the house looks. They only need a clean, dry, well-ventilated shelter that protects them from rain, heat, and predators. A simple wooden structure with a raised floor would do the job perfectly. Another large portion of the budget would go toward buying healthy breeding goats. Instead of buying many cheap animals, I would buy a few high-quality breeding females and one good breeding male, or use breeding services from another farmer if that saves money. Good genetics may cost a little more in the beginning, but they pay you back for many years through healthier and faster-growing offspring. I would also set aside money for feed, minerals, vaccinations, and basic veterinary care. One mistake many beginners make is spending all their money on buying animals and forgetting that the animals still need to eat and stay healthy. A healthy goat is an investment, a sick goat is an expense. Finally, I would keep some money untouched as an emergency fund. Farming always comes with surprises. A disease outbreak, drought, or unexpected repair can happen at any time. Having emergency savings helps you solve problems without selling your animals too early. Now you may be wondering why I wouldn't simply buy 20 or 30 goats immediately if I had enough money. The answer is simple. Experience is more valuable than numbers. Managing 5 goats properly teaches you feeding, breeding, disease prevention, record keeping, and marketing. Managing 30 goats without experience often teaches you expensive lessons. Starting small allows you to make mistakes when the cost is still low. By the time your herd grows, you already know how to manage it confidently. One thing I would prioritize from the very beginning is producing my own animal feed. Feed is usually one of the biggest expenses in livestock farming. If you depend entirely on buying feed every week, your profits become much smaller. So I would plant napier grass, desmodium, sweet potato vines, and other high-quality fodder crops as early as possible. These crops continue producing for many months and greatly reduce feeding costs. I would also begin collecting manure immediately. Many beginners see manure as waste, but experienced farmers see it as money. Goat manure can improve soil fertility, increase crop yields, and even be sold to vegetable farmers and gardeners. Every part of the business should produce value. Another habit I would develop from the first day is keeping records. I wouldn't rely on memory. I would write down every expense, every sale, every birth, every vaccination, and every breeding date. These records would show me whether my business is actually growing or whether I am only working hard without making real profits. Good records also help identify problems early before they become expensive. When the first profits start coming in, I would resist the temptation to celebrate by buying expensive things. Instead, I would reinvest almost everything back into the business. I would buy more breeding females, improve the goat house, expand my fodder fields, and strengthen the farm before rewarding myself. This is where many businesses separate from those that fail. Successful farmers allow their businesses to grow before increasing their personal spending. Finding customers would also be part of my plan from the very beginning. I wouldn't wait until the goats were ready for sale. I would already be building relationships with butcheries, restaurants, livestock traders, and individual buyers. I would use Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and other social media platforms to share photos and videos of my animals. People are more likely to buy from someone they already know and trust. Of course, no business is free from mistakes, but there are several that I would do everything possible to avoid. I wouldn't overcrowd my goat house because this increases disease. I wouldn't ignore vaccinations or parasite control because prevention is always cheaper than treatment. I wouldn't buy animals without checking their health history. Most importantly, I wouldn't sell my best breeding females just because someone offered me quick cash. Those females are the machines that produce future income. After the business becomes stable, probably after the first year, I would slowly begin diversifying, not by abandoning goats, but by adding businesses that support each other. I might introduce chickens that benefit from the farm environment, start vegetable production using goat manure, keep bees for honey production, or plant fruit trees. Each new enterprise would create another source of income while making better use of the land. Technology would also become one of my biggest helpers. I would use my smartphone to keep records, learn new farming techniques, market my animals online, communicate with customers, and even study successful farmers from around the world. Today, knowledge is available to anyone willing to learn. If I look back after 12 months, my goal wouldn't be to become rich overnight. My goal would be to own a healthier, larger herd than when I started, have reliable customers, produce most of my own feed, and earn enough profit to continue expanding without depending on loans. And that's something many people misunderstand about agriculture. Farming is not a lottery ticket. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a business that rewards patience, discipline, and consistency. Every healthy kid born on the farm, every new customer gained, every bag of manure sold, and every dollar reinvested moves you one step closer to financial freedom. If I were 25 years old today and someone gave me $1,000, this is exactly the path I would choose. Not because it's the easiest path, but because it's one that can continue producing income year after year. You don't need a huge farm. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't even need to know everything before you begin. What you need is the willingness to start small, learn every day, avoid unnecessary mistakes, and keep building patiently. Remember, almost every successful farm you admire today started much smaller than it is now. The difference is that someone made the decision to begin instead of waiting for the perfect moment. If you already have a dream of building an agribusiness, maybe this is your sign to take the first step. $1,000 may not seem like much, but in the hands of someone with patience, discipline, and a long-term vision, it can become the foundation of something truly life-changing. Thank you for watching this video. If you learned something new today, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next farming guide. See you in the next video.